So in the last lecture, we created this Firebase project and we had changed the rules. Now let's start sending HTTP requests to this endpoint. And to send HTTP requests, we of course should install a new package in our course project. We do this with npm install --save Axios is the package I want to install, because here, just like in the HTTP module, I want to use Axios to send my HTTP requests. You can of course use a different Ajax package, but Axios is really great and I can only recommend it. Thereafter, we can restart the development server with npm start. And now of course we want to add Axios to our application. In the last course module, you saw different ways of adding it. Adding it by creating an Axios instance or simply importing it and potentially setting up some defaults. Now I will add it by adding a Axios instance, but you could also just import it globally and set these global defaults you saw in the last module. Definitely play around with both, choose whichever one you like more. Now to create an instance of Axios, I'm going to create a new file and I'm going to name this Axios orders.js because I'm going to use that for all the order related stuff. And in there, I now need to import Axios from the Axios package and then call Axios create and pass a JavaScript object to configure it. Now in there, I'll set up the base URL to that path I just copied from Firebase. This is your URL where you want to send your requests to store your data in the database. And again, just in case you missed it, it's this path here you can see under database data. That is what I set up as my default base URL here. Of course, this instance which gets created here should be stored in some constants or a constant or variable. I'm naming it instance here. And then I can export this as the file default. Now I have my own Axios instance configured for this base URL. This is also the reason why I use this instance approach, because later in the course, when we add authentication, we'll also use a different URL with Axios, so I don't want to set this base URL as the global default, even though for the moment I could do that. So now we get the Axios instance created, that's great. Let's now move on to actually sending requests there.